My favorite part of farming is probably driving the equipment. Doesn't really matter what it is.
A typical day on the farm consists of doing a multitude of different things depending on what the season is. We are basically just getting equipment ready for corn and soybeans, planting. We also have a few sheep and a few head of cattle. So a typical day also involves feeding the animals.
My favorite part of farm life is I love to make a meal and just look at it and know that I raised all of that. Everything that is on that plate, I know where it came from, I know how it was treated, and I had a part in that.
Danger is involved in basically any activity that a farmer does. It's really about being aware of your surroundings and paying attention and doing what you can to mitigate the danger, but recognize that, the possibility exists.
A farming mishap has claimed the life of a Barry County farmer. 72-year-old Robert Othmer of Vermontville died after he was buried in a grain silo this morning.
It started out as a normal day. It started out as a typical day. That morning, Robert and my other son Matt and myself and my dad got into the top of the grain bin, which was essentially full of corn, and we were shoveling to keep up so that it didn't get too lopsided in the bin. We went in the house, we got changed, we got all ready to go. We were just pulling out of the driveway and Matt came running that Grandpa had gotten pulled in to the corn. Matt had gotten the augers and everything shut down and crawled up the outside of the bin, and the only thing that we could see was his rope sticking out of the corn. And so I crawled the rest of the way in and I dug down what I could with my hand, and I could feel him. I could feel his head. I could grab his hand, but we just couldn't get him back out. We did what we could. They cut holes in the bin to get the corn out, and but by the time we got my dad out, he had died.
He was a really tough guy. Like, he could be so tough on you, but he would do anything for anybody.
He loved his family, he loved his farming, and it really just showed through in his actions and in his outlook on life.
It's really hard to tell if it was me going to college or him dying that has made our family dynamic change.
My dad's death impacted us, I would say, in a number of ways, and still is impacting us. I would say without our faith, I really don't know how we would have made it through this. One of the greatest joys that I have, and I'm starting to cry, but is that I know sometime I'm gonna see my dad again. We're gonna end up in heaven together. I know that he's there waiting for me. And so the biggest impact on me is now I work hard to make sure that they continue to be proud of me and what we're doing to keep the farm going.
I really don't know of an area that it hasn't impacted us. I mean, we went from, being the help on the farm and him running it to running it completely on our own.
There's inherent dangers in everything. Like driving your car is dangerous. It's the same as driving a tractor.
It is probably the most dangerous job out there, but you will never hear him complain either. We don't mind doing it. It's what we love.
I never considered not farming, I guess I would say. If you were blessed with great parents, if you've got awesome folks that raised you up, they helped you find your passion. They helped you find what you were created for. And if you know what that is to you, then you know what farming is to me.